Okay, well, welcome everybody to our first team Zoom of the new year. We're excited that you're here with us and excited for this year. But my name is Harlequin Murray. I am your co-host every week on Monday nights, and excited that you're here. If this is your first time here, we welcome you and are excited that you've decided to join us. But anyways, my job is to help everybody out, get situated, but also to introduce our speaker of the evening. And we're going to do this a little bit differently, folks. But I would love to introduce to you my friend Ellen Winn, who I have known for about, 18 years now. And just a little bit of information about her. She comes from a strong business and training background. She's worked in the corporate arena as an area director for a national franchise. She owned a couple of pizza restaurants and a limousine business. She's also been a national training director for a network marketing company, and she's been in the network marketing industry for over 20 years. She has been with DAC for 5.5 years and has a huge organization, and she's the highest ranking agent in the field with the company. But anyways, without any further ado, Miss Ellen Winn, can you go ahead and take it away?
I can, Harlequin. Thank you. And I was just muting my phone, making sure we didn't have any interruptions on my end anyway. Hey, thank you for that introduction. And guys, Harlequin just did an intro for me as if she would be introducing me to somebody on the phone. We talked about this a little bit earlier, and what she just did is called edification. So wanted to kind of get you started on that note. In the event that you have the opportunity to put a client on or a prospect on the phone with me or another team leader that you happen to be working with, that piece of edification is important to be able to build trust and respect. She started out saying that we've been friends for many years. That's that trust. She trusts me. She's known me a long time, but she also edified me with my experience, my background in business, all the different things that I've accomplished, how long I've been with DAC, having a huge organization and the highest ranked agent in the field. Now, you may not have that same pedigree on your end, but there are good things that can be said about whoever it is you're putting on the phone with the prospect to build that confidence that your prospect is listening to someone that knows what they're talking about, someone that they can trust the information and be able to make a decision or get their questions answered to move on to the next level to make a decision. Okay, so great job with that, Harlequin. Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad to see you guys here tonight. If you have the ability to be on camera, we always love seeing you. This is our first live Zoom of 2024. I was going back and I'm going, oh my gosh, I've got 3 weeks of top recruiters to go through because we did not have a Zoom the week of Christmas and we didn't have a Zoom on New Year's Day. So here we are. I've got a little bit of catch up to do, but I've got some good information to cover. So let me get us into screen share mode. And I'll get us kicked off with slides. Are you seeing those slides, Harlequin? Looking good? Awesome. Okay. And I'm going to go through some basics here because whether this is the first time you've joined us or whether you've been on many of our team Zooms, it's always a great reminder to go back to the basics with DAC. DAC is an 8-year-old company. As Harlequin said, I've been with DAC for 5.5 years, and I've watched the growth and I've watched the foundation being laid to be able to get into that second phase of massive growth that we're poised for right now. So to help with that expansion, DAC is looking for self-starters who are motivated, who want to have a side hustle, a significant side hustle income, or somebody who's wanting to build a full-time business that can replace a job or be that retirement plan for the future. You'll be in business for yourself, but not by yourself here in DAC, and especially on this team, because we are here to support you and help you grow your business. Okay. Now, building your DAC business. You can make a significant income from personal client acquisition, but you can even earn even more if you want to build a team. So let's talk about our team builders and our top recruiters. And this goes back to the week of 12/18 through 12/24. That week, we had two people tied for first place with 4 new recruits each. We had Michael Sullivan and Ronnie McKellar in first place. Congratulations, guys. In third place, we had Eric Johnson with 3 new recruits. And in fourth place, we had a 7-way tie, looks like, with 2 new recruits each: Anthony Janis, Chris Bartalis, DeAnthony Thomas, Kellen Burgos, Lavonda Goodman, Mark Politi, and Takiria Barber, all with 2 new agents. To be named on the screen as a top recruiter, you had to have 2 or more recruits for the week. Many of us had 1 new recruit. In fact, we had 48 agents that week who had 1 new recruit. All right, so congratulations for those of you for that week. The next week, we had Christmas Day, the 25th through New Year's Eve. In first place, we had Chris Bartalis and Mark Politi, each tied with 3 agent recruits apiece. In third place, we had a 4-way tie with Ben Randalls, Katina Willis, Deborah Goodman, and Paul Williams. Congratulations to all of you. Others that had 1 new recruit for the week, we had 24 agents that had at least 1 new recruit. So congratulations to you that had someone join the business. And last week, the 1st through the 7th, in first place, we had Ben Randalls. Ben is back in fast play mode with 9 new recruits. Congratulations, Ben. In second place, we had a 4-way tie with Pam Warnock, DeAnthony Thomas, Mark Politi, Ronnie McKellar. Each had 3 new agent recruits. Congratulations to you guys. And in 6th place, we had a 4-way tie with Katina Willis, Juan Stubbs, Richard Brown, and Rose Emilius, each with 2 new recruits. So congratulations to you guys. Same numbers there. 24 agents had at least 1 new recruit. So if your name's not on the leaderboard, but you had at least 1 new recruit, congratulations to you. And if your name's not on the leaderboard, but you talked to somebody, you sent your link out, or you ask a question, hey, are you open to making income outside of what you're currently doing? Then congratulations to you too. It'll be just a matter of time before you're showing up on our top recruiters list. Now, the DAC business model, we got a lot of opportunity here and a lot of different things that you can do. In fact, a lot of people get started and they're going, oh my gosh, I'm lost for days watching training videos. Well, guys, it's really a simple business, and we don't want you getting in the weeds with everything. We want you to be able to get off to a fast start. And if you've already been here a while, I want you guys listening to me as if I'm telling you what you need to do as a new agent so that you can duplicate that with your new agents that are coming on board. Okay. So we've got our business services side of the house with funding, payment processing, the employee retention tax credit. We also have health share for groups, right, where people can enroll in our healthcare program. We've got the flat fee RX for groups. And we've got a group enrollment page that'll probably be ready by the end of next week. And we have our pay card advance through Relevate, where people can use Relevate to pay employees, and it's a free benefit to employees. You get paid residually, and it's on the bonus payouts too. But our consumer services is what we're really excited about right now, because the consumer services changes the DAC business model. The whole time I've been here, we've only had business services. But the launch of our health share back in August of last year and our flat rate pharmacy in November of last year really is a game changer. So we're going to focus on helping you get off to a fast start by getting flat rate pharmacy customers. In fact, we want you to get 5 of them within your first week. And we're going to talk about some ways to help you get out the gate and make that happen, okay? But the beauty of everything that we do at DAC, there's no licensing or experience necessary. We're going to provide you all the tools you need except for print material. You're going to get free websites, free training, free support here in the field. And when you send someone through your website, they're going to be supported by industry experts. So if you're talking to somebody about the RX plan, You go through, you help them get signed up, and then from there, they're talking to the customer support team over at the pharmacy. Healthcare, they're talking to the benefits consultants over at our partners at Clearwater. So you simply refer potential clients to your personalized website that's provided to you for free. The experts are going to take it from there. And again, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Okay. Now, to help you become more acquainted and more familiar with everything we do, we have 4 trainings going on each and every week, or actually 5 counting our team Zoom. But tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern time, we'll have a 30-minute training on healthcare with Jake from our Clearwater team. These daytime meetings are meant to be short and concise so that you can come in during the workday, get your questions answered, and go on about your workday. Okay, so join us tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern at help with daczoom.com to learn more about healthcare. Then on Wednesday, we'll have a training on funding again at 11:30 Eastern time at daczoom.com. And then Friday, we should have some good updates from our company founder, David Rutz, as we are looking at more tools coming our way for marketing the new services that we have just launched. Okay. Now, let me talk to you 1 second about the training piece of this. You know, when you get on here on our weekly Zooms, there's a lot of familiar information. In fact, I start the Zoom the same way, essentially, just about every week. And there's a reason for that, because repetition is the key to learning. The more you hear something, the more you see something, the more ingrained it becomes, and the easier it is for you to start speaking of that. But if you really want to be a pro, you got to see it, you got to hear it, and you got to speak it. So I want to get you guys into speaking mode so that everything that you're hearing over and over and over again, everything you're seeing over and over again becomes second nature for you to talk about it. So we're going to get there in just a second. Okay. As we're talking about your business, how is your business looking? Okay. Your business and your dashboard is a really good reflection of how many conversations you're having, right? If you're talking about our business and you're referring customers over about our business, this is a great reflection of what's happening. And this is a screenshot of a training center that I created a long time ago. If yours looks just like this one, where there's no activity, that means that maybe you're just showing up week after week on a Zoom and you're here participating in the audience, but you're not getting on the playing field yet, right? I want to help you change the appearance of your back office, and I want to turn the nose on the not engaged, not amped, and the rank from agent to at least qualified agent, where you have 50 points, personal PQV, personal qualifying volume. I want to see you have some personally referred customers, some personally enrolled agents, and how many total agents in your organization, right? So that's the goal of growing your business. Now, if you look at your dashboard and you have any team volume, this month's group residual revenue, if you are showing anything there and you don't have at least 50 in personal qualifying residual points, you're missing out on getting a commission override. So talking about commissions, our compensation plan has many complex layers. You'll be excited to know that David Rutz is working on updating some compensation documents. He talked to us about it today on the RVP Zoom, updating the compensation documents, but no changes to the comp plan. He's just taking the current documents that we have and he's simplifying them so that people can follow along each portion of the pay plan and how you make money, right? But all in all, our compensation plan pays a couple of main ways, and that is through one-time bonuses on your personal customers and on what your team does if you're qualified. And it also pays recurring monthly residuals off of your customers and off of your team if you have a team and if you're qualified. By getting through and building your personal client base, you can earn your way to earning perks such as car allowances, expense accounts, revenue sharing, and actual equity shares in the company. So It's important that you understand how the comp plan works, the basics of it. But again, the basics are you getting customers, because everything that we market, whether it's funding, lines of credit, ERC, Relevate, or our healthcare RX plan, payment processing, all of those are going to put money into the compensation plan. Okay. And all of that's going to lead to you earning your way towards the perks. But again, it starts with you. So I'm going to run through real quick a few slides that I put together. I think only 10 people have seen this. I recorded it and I posted it in the agents, the DAC 50 and 50 group the other day. But I looked at the number count and like 10 people had seen it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to run through this tonight so we get it in front of more people. Okay. Again, every service we market generates residual revenue in the comp plan, and your personal clients count towards your personal residual revenue or personal qualifying volume, which is what gets you qualified to be eligible to earn a check. So one of the charts, David's going to be revising this, but right now, this is what our chart looks like on page 8 of the compensation plan. This top line shows your personal residual revenue, and the volume that you have each month dictates how much you get paid on your personal clients. Okay. It determines that 20 to 50%. So look here, if you're under 400, this top line, if you're below 400 in personal customer revenue, then that means you're making 20% off of your personal customers. Okay. Once you hit 400 right here, then you start earning an additional bonus. And when you have 400 in revenue personal at the end of the month, that means you earn an extra 5% or 25% total on your entire month's volume. Okay. Your personal volume. When you get on up in higher ranks, it's going to increase that. And I'm going to take you through that in a minute. Here's another thing. This is a key piece that you need to know. I want you to write down 200. And we're going to write it down multiple times, okay? But 200 is the magic number here in our compensation plan. Your first 90 days in the business, when you're brand new as an agent and you start referring out services or you start building a team, your first 90 days, you're automatically qualified to earn enroller match, okay? So now we've gone from personal commissions to the enroller match section, which is the second line down here. First 90 days, you're qualified to earn an enroller match. After 90 days, you must have at least 200 in personal qualifying volume points to be eligible to earn that enroller match in the residual compensation plan. Okay. So that's a number that a lot of people are missing. They don't see it, that they can get this extra income. You're still going to get paid your levels 1 through 3, 4, 6, or 7, depending on where you qualify in the plan. But this enroller match is an extra bonus that's there for you if you have 200 PQV after your first 90 days, or if you're in your first 90 days. Also, when I was using 400 as an example a minute ago, when you hit 400, you get an increase on your personal commissions, but you also get that same increase on your enroller match. So if you're at a 25% personal commission, then you get a 25% match on what your enroller pay is. To move on up the line, you get on up to the next level, 600 total personal qualifying volume. That gives you an extra 10%. So now you're earning 30% on your personal customers, 30% on your enroller match. When you hit the 800 mark, you're making 35% on personal, 35% on your enroller match. And when you get to 1,000, that's another magic number. So you should have 200 written down, and you also need to write down 1,000. Okay, because here's the deal. 1,000 is where you're going to need to hit this within your first 12 months in the business. If you were here prior to May 31st, and I need to change that. If you were here prior to May 31st of 2023, we're counting May 31st as your 1-year anniversary here at DAC. So prior to May 31st of last year, you have until May 31st of 2024 to hit 1,000 in personal residual revenue to qualify for the 7-level bump up bonus. Okay. This is where you earn an extra 20%. So if you earn a total of $3,000 this month on your team on your 7-level pay, an extra 20% of 3,000 times 20% is an extra $600 that you would make on your 7-level pay. So this number is huge that you guys be working towards that. Okay. I never want to see somebody miss out on compensation, especially because of a lack of understanding, right? The next level is getting to 1,500 in personal revenue, where you get 45% on your personal customers and 45% in roller match. And then for you to get to that 50% where you've capped out the residual pay, then you need to hit 2,000 in personal residual revenue for 50% on your personal pay and 50% in roller match. Here's another piece where 200 is the magic number. Okay. Remember how I showed you that you got your first 90 days that you're automatically eligible for your enroller matching residual commission. But after 90 days, you have to have 200 in personal residual revenue. Guys, it works the same way on bonuses. So imagine this. Imagine that you're here focused entirely on the RX plan or healthcare or something besides funding. Or maybe you're focused on funding, but you just haven't gotten a client yet. And you're building a team, and somebody that you enrolled in the business goes out and gets a funding before you're actually qualified to earn that match. If you have 200 in personal residual revenue points, you're going to at least get a 10% match. So you're not missing out. The way you're missing out is not getting 200 in personal qualifying volume or personal residual revenue, one and the same. Go get 200, be done with it, and you'll always be qualified for that enroller matching bonuses and enroller match residuals. And it's also going to help you get towards the 7-level compensation. So even if you've never had a client, you can qualify on that. And then again, the 200 is part of the equation to earn all the way to the top levels on the 7-level compensation plan. So the two goals: get to 200 in personal qualifying volume as soon as possible, and get to 1,000 in personal qualifying volume or personal residual revenue within your first 12 months or by May 31st if you have been here with DAC for some time. How do you know what points are worth, what services are worth what? Pages 14 through 17, the top part of this shows your DAC healthcare services. The residual revenue column shows you what the value is. So for example, let's say that this month you go sign up one DAC ClearShare plan. It could be yourself. Did you know you can be your own customer? If you own a business, you can have payment processing through your business. You can sign up for healthcare. You can sign up for the RX plan. You can sign up for our ID Protect plan. Okay. All of those services that we market, you can be your own customer. The only thing that you can't be the enroller of record is if you need funding. You can only be your own agent for funding if you've been with DAC more than 6 months. And that piece of the equation is there to protect you so that when you're out marketing, you don't run across a business owner that you're talking to about funding and then they go, okay, who's this DAC company? And they start looking it up and they see that there's an agent opportunity. It prevents that business owner that you just introduced to DAC from circumventing you to earn a commission. So that's why that is there. But everything else, you can be your own customer. But let's say that you go get a health share customer this month and you sign up one RX plan. The health share is worth 40 in qualifying volume and the RX plan is worth 10. Add those together. Now you've got 50 in personal qualified volume. Okay. Let's say that you also sign up someone who wants to take advantage of the 1 free month on the RX plan and they go ahead and sign up for a year. Add 110 to that and you now have got 160 qualified volume for the month. So that's how that chart works. You need to sit down and map out how many points you need. And which services you're going to market. I will tell you on a timeliness basis, the DAC consumer services down here at the bottom, the ID Protect, that shows up immediately, and the RX plan shows up immediately. Everything else we market is going to be a delay. Like everybody that starts January 1st for the health share plan, that volume's not going to show up until the following month on health share. So if you're needing points to qualify for something, you want to make sure that you know which ones go active immediately and which one is a delay. All right. Now talking about healthcare, and we're going to get into some Q&A here in just a minute. Yep. And I'm good on time. All right. For those of you that have been around a while, if you haven't already noticed, the main davidallencapital.com website now has a healthcare division tab in the top right corner of the website. When you click on that, it opens up the domain name or the URL dachealthcare.com. So you can market through davidallencapital.com, but if you're just wanting to talk to people about healthcare, then I recommend that you use dachealthcare.com/your ID number. And you have all of these different individual pages on the healthcare domain. But let's start with the flat fee RX, because this is really the where we want people getting out of the gate quickly as a new agent. For you yourself to be setting an example and leading the way by going and getting some RX customers. In fact, we want you to get 5 this week before we roll into next week's Team Zoom. I encourage and challenge each of you to go get 5 RX customers this week, okay? Get the conversation started with something as simple as, hey, do you know anyone who's spending over $20 a month on prescription medications? If you're talking to a family, 30 is the number, right? And if they answer yes or no, whatever, you can just lead in the conversation. Hey, we're working with a nationwide pharmacy who wants to take the greed out of pharmaceuticals. And they've got a Netflix model for prescription drugs where you pay a low monthly fee and you get all of your medications for free if they're on the formulary. And I always add that if they're on the formulary as a disclaimer, because some of these high priced drugs are not on the formulary, right? But you can also send them directly to dachealthcare.com/RX/your ID number. But the bottom line is you've got to have conversations. When you get over to your page, you've got several different tabs. You need to get familiar with this page and click on drug search. You can go in and start typing up drugs and see what's covered and what's not. On healthcare, guys, I'm doing healthcare enrollments every single week from the business that I started back in August when we first launched this program. Okay. I had a Zoom today with a client. I've got another one on Thursday with a small group, and that's just from a couple of conversations I had Friday, right? So get the conversation started. What are you doing for healthcare, or what is your company doing for healthcare? Our average savings is $8,000 a year. That is a massive number. It makes an immediate impact on people's spend, because if you can keep $8,000 a year in their pocket, that's over $700 a month that they're not wasting on high cost of health insurance. They're able to keep more money in their pocket, which is money that they can spend on food, rent, clothing, gas, whatever it is. Lord knows everything around us cost a lot more this year than it did last year. And the prices continue to go up. So every dollar that we save, we're making a big impact on people's lives. So have the conversations and help these people. One of the things that I have done that I'm consistently getting benefits from, and that is posting videos on YouTube. Okay. Now, if I go live and I do a live video, stream live on not YouTube, on Facebook. If I do that live on Facebook, it attracts more attention than any other type of video, because it sends out a notification and it says Ellen Winn is live, or if someone's not watching at the time, it'll say Ellen Winn was live. So it's drawing attention to my friend base there in Facebook. But the second best way to do a video is to record yourself. There are lots of free programs you can use. You can do Vimeo. You can sign up for Vimeo. They have a free program. I use Loom. You guys have probably seen me send out a training video on Loom, LOOM.com. Loom has a free version where you can go in, use your camera, just like we're using here, or you can do Zoom. Zoom has a free version where you can go in and record yourself on Zoom. Go in, record yourself on a video explaining something about the product, a benefit of the product. Don't make it too terribly long. I've done some longer ones, but I think my friends have gotten used to seeing me some of the videos where I've been presenting in front of a room. So, you know, they're accustomed to seeing me do that. If you've not been posting those type of videos, make them short. 30-second videos are a great attention grabber, but record yourself on those free programs. And once you've got a recording that you really like, then download it to your computer. Once you've downloaded it to your computer, now you can go and upload it back to your Facebook page with content information above the post, including your link to that product if you want a link, or it can be call me or text me with your contact information there. But once you upload a video, not sharing a link, upload the video, then it's in autoplay mode in most of the time. So people will scroll through and they'll see that it's a video because they can see you moving or talking or something going across the screen, and it causes them to stop the scroll and watch and listen. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of traction by posting on Facebook, posting videos in that manner. Okay, so I encourage you to be doing the same thing. And remember, once again, the benefits of our healthcare program are incredible. I love, love, love our service. It's not insurance, but it works exactly like insurance. And that's one of the hesitations I get from people going, well, I'm not sure about this share plan. I don't even tell people it's a share plan. I talk to them in terms of, what are you spending on health insurance? We can probably save you some money. And I never, ever talk to them about it being a share plan before I get them over to the experts. The only time share plan ever comes up for me in the conversation is if someone point blank asks me, is that a share plan? And then I'll say, yes, it is. And it's different than any share plan in the marketplace today. We've got so many benefits baked into ours that it feels exactly like health insurance. So I turn that because there's some negativity out there in the marketplace on share plans, because there's some really bad share plans out there, but ours isn't one of them. So know that it works like insurance. The member is going to receive a benefits card in the mail. They're going to receive an electronic benefits card the day that their membership goes active. Excuse me. They're going to have a PPO network link to go in and search for providers, just like you would with any insurance carrier. You search for providers to find doctors that are in network, right? And then you go to that preferred provider, present your card. They're going to look it up and verify that you have coverage. The provider is going to collect a copay. If you have a copay, if there's no copay, then you'll just go in and do the visit like on preventative care that's covered for free. Then after your visit, you'll receive an explanation of benefits in the mail, just like you would with Blue Cross Blue Shield, United, Cigna, any of those, an explanation of benefits in the mail. And then if there's any additional pay on your part, you send in and pay the provider just like you normally would. Okay, so it works exactly like insurance, only better and a whole lot less expensive. So guys, build your confidence in the healthcare plan. Go get a quote, go through the process, do a one-on-one Zoom. And if it's a good fit for you, sign up Honor Healthcare, because it's an incredible program. All right, so now I want to go over to any questions that you guys might have. And Harlequin, thank you for putting this slide together. I think this is the last one. It is. So what is it that's causing you to have difficulty getting RX customers or healthcare customers, any customers whatsoever? I want to hear from you. I want you guys to use the screen and do the hand raise there. But I'm going to run through some questions just to kind of spur your thoughts on this, and then I'm going to take this off a screen share and give you an opportunity to speak and ask questions or share successes that you may have. Okay. Number one, what issues are you having? Are you still in fear of making that first call, having that first conversation? Just doing it or setting it as a priority. Harlequin, why don't you go through these so that your thought process, what that was behind making these notes, is there, and just go through every one of them, and then we'll come off of screen share and we'll talk about it.
Okay. Now what I would like everybody to do on the top section there is as we're going through these, I want you to write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can put as one of them or two, however many apply to you. It's going to give us a feel for what we need to help you guys the most with. But when you're talking to people about the RX plan, what is your stopping point, or what's causing you to not get as many clients as you want? Is it, one, getting over the fear of making that first call or conversation? Or you just, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do or what to say, how to, I don't even know how to start talking to somebody. Two, is it just doing it, setting it as a priority? It's like, okay, I'm not afraid to do it, but you get to the end of the day and you haven't done it and you're like, man, I wish I had done that. Three is, I don't know what to say when I'm talking to somebody. How do I explain the program to them? On number 4, overcoming objections. Once they say that they're paying more than the $20 or $30 a month, but they're hesitant, and how do you answer those questions or objections? Some people have a challenge, number 5, on closing somebody or asking for the sale. It's like, okay, you've already determined that they're paying more than the $20 or $30 a month, but you just don't know how to go and say, well, hey, why don't you go ahead and try this program out? And then 6 is asking for referrals, either from people that you sign up as customers, or if somebody, like myself, I don't take prescription medication, so I'm not really a candidate for the program, but I may know somebody that I can refer to you. So if you guys can go and put down in the chat just what the number is, that is your sticking point. And then Ellen, did you want us to talk about that first and then go on to the other items, or do you want me to go through the other items as well? Or did you get stuck on something else? Okay, we're going to go ahead and go to the other items.
Sorry, myself, Harlequin. Yes, go ahead and go to the other items, and then we'll take the screen share off.
Okay. All right. Some of this came from David's Zoom this morning. Are you tracking your personal and your team volume? Are you tracking it on for yourself as well as your team? But if you have a somewhat larger size team, or if you're starting to get a few people and they've got some people on their team, are you tracking individuals' team so that you can help them? The other thing is, when was the last time you logged into your back office? I don't know if for some of you, there's a bunch of people who have not logged into their back office since we switched back offices back in February of last year. And I don't know if you guys know this, but everyone in your upline can see exactly when your last login date and time was. Whenever you run a list of the people that are on your team, it will tell you when the last time they logged in, and it's by date and time to the minute. So, if somebody is not logging into their back office, how can they be tracking their volume, and how can they be serious about their business? And that's how, when we're going forward as far as helping people to track things and to move up the ranks, if you're not logging into your back office and tracking those numbers, then you're not going to know how to move forward and how to get to the next rank. So that's why I have that. And I see a couple of different people have responded to which issue they're having, but we would really, really love to have everybody go and just put a number in there.
All right. We'll go ahead and go to Melody. She's got a question here. Hey, Melody, how are you tonight?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, couple questions actually. So I have a friend and she knows, she always says this RX plan is great, blah blah blah, but she's putting on the brakes because she's like, well, if she has an emergency, and I told her all you need to do is take your card into the pharmacy. Well, the pharmacy is a grocery store called Kroger's. I don't know if y'all are familiar with them or not.
Have them right here, and the card works there.
So she wants to know if did you say the card does work there?
Yep, my friend has already used it there. In fact, I've
Thank
visited
God, because now I'm
doctor.
going to get her to do this because she's been dragging her feet. And I'm like, now she can't because I'm going to tell her. I told her there's like 64,000 or something, whatever that total is of, pharmacies and stuff. And I'm like, I'm sure it's probably on there. I just don't have the list of drugstores, that or whatever, but that's a lot of drugstores. I mean, it pretty well hits, I would think, almost everybody. But anyhow, thank you for that. And
Yeah.
the second one is it possible to get, I have some people in my downline that they have people in their downline, but my downline, I have this one guy, he's not doing anything. But he has people in his downline. Is there any way to communicate with them? Because if I get onto the back office, nothing's there other than their names, but there's no phone number, email address, nothing like that.
There is information there. So what you want to do, Melody, is go over on the left-hand side menu of your back office. You want to click on team, and under team, there's a report that says my list, team list view. Okay. If you pull up list view, you can sort it by date. Also, worth to note, in the back office, they have separated it where everything's automatically defaulting to January 1st of 2024 as far as the start date. You can change that start date. But if you're looking at volume activity reports there on sales, then you have the ability to select 2023 or 2024 in the top left corner of those reports. But when you pull the list view report, you can sort it by agent ID number or just by a date range. If your team is more than 7 levels deep, where it says 7 on the automatic number of levels that it defaults to, just change 7 to 0. That way it pulls your entire list, but it'll pull up their name, their sponsor's name, their sponsor's ID number, their phone number, their email, all of that information is there. So yes, you have access to that, and you can reach out to anybody in your team.
Okay, yeah, because I wasn't finding it for some reason. I don't know. And I was like, because
there's a couple of geographical charts where it shows 3 levels deep and that, but list view.
They're only like 2 levels under me or whatever. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
The list view report is the one that shows everything. So great question.
Okay, yeah. All right, great. I appreciate it. And thank you, ladies.
You're welcome. And I'll make a comment too on your comment about someone who's not doing anything. Never underestimate the ability for somebody to change their mind and change their opinion, change their mind about whether they're going to go to work, or change their opinion about whether DAC is a good fit for them or not. I can't tell you. Y'all may have seen my post in the agent Facebook group the other day on, I think it was January the 4th. I opened up my back office and it showed that I had 919 personally enrolled agents and 15,000 on the nose, 15,000 agents in my team, right? And I just keep loving on everybody, sending out email messages. When somebody reaches out to me, I try to be responsive. And I can't tell you how many times I've talked, or how many people I've talked to over the past 5.5 years that have called and drilled me with questions, but never produced a client, right? Or maybe I've never heard from them and they have produced a client. I see their information showing up. So you never know when circumstances will change, and that person that's not doing anything today could be a superstar player somewhere down the road, or they could be the one that connects you to a superstar player down the road. We're going to do in the next week or so, we're going to talk about a training that David touched on last week, and that is getting together with your upline and doing calls. If you're afraid to do calls on your own, I'm happy to do those with you. I won't do it instead of you, but I'm happy to do them with you to kind of help you break the ice on that. But guys, this is a easy business, but it's not easy to get the conversation started until you have a conversation. The other piece of that training that I just did tonight, that I said I recorded and put in the DAC 50 and 50, here's the magic bullet for you, for any of you listening, and that is to do some role plays. Okay. Melody, I appreciate you saying you've been talking with a friend and she's looked at this and she's been hesitant. Reach out when you've got those questions, but at least you're talking to a friend. Every one of you on here should be role playing with somebody. If you're not like me and you're not willing to just go talk to a prospective client and get the conversation started from what you just learned on a video, which is how I go. I hear it, I get excited, and I start picking up the phone, calling people. That's just me. If you're not like that and you're hesitant to start talking, or you're afraid that you're going to say the wrong thing, or you're afraid you're going to get a question that you don't know how to answer, then start role playing. How would that role play work? Well, you reach out to your best friend or your spouse or your parent or a sibling or a cousin or a coworker, somebody that you've got a friendly relationship with that would do you a favor if you ask them to. And that favor is to say, hey, Harlequin, listen, I need your help. I just started working with a company. We've got some phenomenal services that I know is going to make a big impact in my community. But I need somebody to role play with me so I can practice. Will you spend a few minutes and pretend to be a customer for me so I can practice having conversations with you? And if I ask that, how many times is a friend going to say no, right? They'll be go like, well, sure, I'll help you. When do you want to do it? When's a good time? Set aside 15 minutes that you can talk with that person, and then go through that. In fact, let's do that right now. Harlequin, or anybody else. Does anyone want to do a role play with me on any service that we have, preferably the RX plan or healthcare? Somebody want to be a role play partner and actually be the customer, and I'll field the questions, make it easy on you? Anybody raise your hand if you do. If not, we'll let Harlequin do it. Nobody's volunteering. Okay, Harlequin, you want to be the customer?
I guess I get to be a customer, don't I?
I'm going to talk to you about RX plan. Hey, Harlequin, how are you doing? I just called her.
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good. Hey, listen, I got a question for you. Do you happen to know of anybody that's spending over $20 a month on prescription medication?
Yeah, I am.
You are? Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I got great news for you. I may have a way to cut your costs down to where it's $20 is all you're spending. Do you know what your total expense is right now?
Yeah, I'm spending over $100 a month.
Oh my gosh. Well, what if we could take that $100 down to just $20 a month? Would that be something you'd be interested in?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, listen, I'm working with a nationwide pharmacy, and we're really here trying to take the greed out of the pharmaceutical space. And it's as simple as just taking a look at what you're taking. If you don't mind running through them, I'll walk you through it over the phone, or I can send you a link and walk you through how you can look them up on your own. Whichever one works for you. You want me to look them up?
Um, I would love for you to look them up, but I don't remember the names of all of them off the top of my head.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me do this. Let me give you a couple options here. When you have the opportunity to get in front of those and you've got a list of them, either call me back and I'll go through them and look them up with you while we're on the phone, or I can send you a link and you can go through and look them up on your own. Which one of those works better for you?
I can give you a call.
Okay, great. Well, you think you might do that sometime today or a couple days from now?
Yeah, maybe in an hour or so.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay, great. I've got a Zoom I'm about to jump on, but I should be free by then. Okay, great. I'll look to hear from you then. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Okay, take care.
I'm off the phone. Okay. See, that was just conversational, guys, and I'm giving her some choices. I really prefer the path that Harlequin let me go down, and that was to call me back and let me look them up. On the other, and it depends on how well you know that person, because some people may not want to divulge what medications they're taking, right? So they may not want you looking them up. It may be personal, but that's where I gave her the option on that. Okay, I've got Melody with a hand up. Go ahead, Melody.
Got to learn this unmute stuff. But
Okay,
anyhow, so I have even myself ran into this problem where I will, go online and put in the drug name, and then it'll say, make a phone call or something like that. And my daughter-in-law ran into that too, to where it's kind of like they don't have the drug, but they actually do. And so you have to talk to a live person, and they're like, yeah, we've got that. So I've ran into that a few times.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Well, when you go online and
To our RX.
look up a medication, you put a medication in the search bar, because it says, see if we have your medication. So you put that medication in the search bar. I've had several times where that medication doesn't pop up. Hello? We lost her.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. So
Can you
yeah,
hear
yeah,
me now?
in the drug name, yes. And then it'll put a message, something like, I don't know if it's make a phone call or something, but it tells you, they're not finding that medication, and you need to make a phone call. And every single case I made the phone call, but they actually did have it. And so we're not
Wow,
understanding
I've
why
not
it's
run into that, and I've had a lot of conversations with people. Have you
yeah.
seen that, Harlequin?
No, but my suggestion would be instead of doing the search like Ellen is showing on here, I
Uh-huh.
would actually go to the list
Okay,
of
yeah, that's what I was
medications.
thinking. Yeah.
And if you have it online, you can do Control F
Mm-hmm.
and do a search for the drug that way.
Uh-huh.
And that way it's a much I find that a whole lot easier to do a search than to use their search thing, because sometimes people don't know exactly what each medication is for.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right, by category. Yeah,
yeah,
so
by
I put
category.
the formulary here, what she's talking about, where you
Yeah.
can go in and hit Control F, and that brings up a little search box,
Mm-hmm.
and start typing it in, and all those, then you can go through and it highlights every one of those. Okay. Yeah. And to your point, Harlequin, on not knowing exactly what that medication treats, there's also the possibility that they're misspelling the drug. In fact, I had one the other day. The guy, I said, how do you spell that? And he started spelling it to me, and it wasn't coming up, but I knew I had seen that drug in our free formulary in some of our training, or maybe I'd had another client that was getting that same drug. So I said, hang on a minute. And we Googled it, and he had one of the letters wrong, one of the first two letters. So I started with the correct spelling, and there it was, all the different dosage levels and what he was taking. And you know what? he was not spending but about $20 a month. But he said, oh my God, he said, I would do this just to not ever have to go to the drugstore again. He loved the idea of having everything just mailed to him. So he's on board with it for the convenience of it. Not a
Well,
huge money saver, but convenient. So good stuff. All right.
well,
Anything?
another thing that's Oh, I was just saying another thing that's good about that is if they have an emergency, that takes care of that drug as well, though.
It does. So your friend that has an emergency can go into her local Kroger and present the card, because it has a bin number, an RX bin number on it, just like a insurance card would, just like a discount card, like a good RX. It has a bin number. All of those cards that offer some type of discount at the pharmacy have a bin number attached to it, and that's what dictates the group plan it's in and what the pricing arrangement is. One thing you want to make a note of is when presenting that card, it shows it shows on our end that it's a DAC flat fee RX, and it shows it's My Free Pharmacy. Neither one of those are going to show up in the system. It's offered through America's Pharmacy Source, is actually the corporation that shows up in the system when they enter that bin number. America's Pharmacy Source.
Okay, also too, if for some reason, I don't know how she gets her prescriptions or whatever, and she's wondering if they're going to get mad at her or if it's going to be a big deal about, changing over to this versus what she has now.
It's not on our end. Now, if she feels obligated to buy from the pharmacy that she's buying from right now and she doesn't want to make a switch, then maybe we're not a good fit for her. I never want to talk somebody into becoming our customer, unless you say, hey, give it a try. There's no obligation to this. Give it a try, get started, and let's get your things moved over. And if it's a problem, then you don't have to stay a customer. But if she's not willing to do that and she's giving you all sorts of objections, then maybe she's just wanting to say no and trying to find excuses to say no. So, maybe it's not a good fit for her if she keeps running into all those roadblocks. But a lot of times I find that when people have an objection, they're really interested and they're just needing you to verify that their concern isn't going to be a problem in the end. So I would talk her through that. I know my brother, for example, he's been using a local pharmacy for a really long time. And when I first talked to him about the pharmacy program, that was the pushback I expected him to give me, was that he wanted to support his local pharmacy. But after we looked at the numbers on it, that became a non-issue. So
all they need to do is just to sign up, and then everything automatically gets changed over to the pharmacy, and they actually send it to them or whatever.
Okay. They sign up a day after, the next business day after they enroll in the membership. They're going to receive a digital kit around 4:30 in the afternoon, a digital membership that has instructions. They need to open that email. They need to click on the link and go in and set up a password to access their patient portal, just like, any doctor's office that has the online systems. They're going to go in, set up that portal, and then they're going to go through and answer some questions, some medical questions about allergies and what conditions they have. So the pharmacist has their drug portfolio there. They'll answer those questions, and then the next step is for them to call the pharmacy. They'll call them and say, hey, this is Melody. I'm a new member, and I just set up my portal. I'm wanting to get my prescriptions transferred from my pharmacy over to you guys. How does that work? And then customer care will take over from there. In most cases, they're going to be able to do that medication for you. They'll reach out to your pharmacy and they'll transfer that over to them. If there's no refills left on that particular medication that's at your pharmacy, then it would be a matter of contacting the doctor and sending in the new pharmacy information. So think of it this way, guys. It's no different than you living in a community and having a local pharmacy that you go to on an ongoing regular basis. And then you move across town and you go start using a different pharmacy, or the pharmacy that you're using has become a pain in the rear and you've decided not to do business with them anymore. So it's the exact same process as changing a local pharmacist as it is getting switched over to our flat fee RX. You contact the pharmacy and you ask them about transferring prescriptions from your old pharmacy to the new. They'll tell you the process. Same at the doctor. Hey, I got a new pharmacy. Here's the information on it. Your doctor now starts e-scribing there or faxing in prescriptions to the new pharmacy versus the old. So it's exactly the same process as everybody's already accustomed to. It just kind of gets kind of iffy for people going, well, it's not a brick and mortar store that we're going to go to. Nope, it's the same process, just either online or through a phone call. So, and most of the transfers today happen through a phone call. You're not generally walking into a pharmacy and saying, here's my new information, I want to transfer this over. It starts with a phone call on a local pharmacy too, right?
Okay. So when she clicks on my website and says that she wants to start the process, then she gets an email and then she has to contact them back. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. She's going to hit subscribe on your website. On the drop down at the top, it automatically defaults to family plan. So if it's just her, she's going to select the drop down and select individual.
Right.
And she'll select whether she wants to pay for a month or pay for a year in advance. If she does the year in advance, she gets a month for free. All right. She'll subscribe, fill out basic information about herself, her payment information. She'll e-sign and send it in. And then, yes, she'll get an email immediately, which is a confirmation email and receipt for her purchase. The next day, the next business day, she will get another email, which is her activation email with her member kit, her member ID, and her welcome kit for her to go through, read the material, and follow the instructions on that to get the new portal set up and to get the transfer of medication started.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks. I didn't know how all that works, but now I do, and that makes me more educated and it'll help better. Thank you.
Yeah. So just saw a question come up. Who does the doctor send the prescriptions to? Okay. It depends. Is this a prescription for an acute medication? Acute meaning I'm sick right now. I just went to the doctor. They sent me out with a written prescription to go fill medication for an immediate need. If that's the case, it's going to work exactly like it always has worked. If they're even going to send it to the pharmacy, they're still going to send it to your local pharmacy if it's an immediate need. But for the drugs, through our pharmacy plan, on the membership card and on your website, if you go over to our RX page, and I'll go back over there and I'll show you, go back to screen share. On the RX page, you've got an FAQ section here at the top, okay? If you go through and read through these FAQs, you are going to find just about every question that you have is answered here. Let me see. Can I mail my prescriptions? Yes, you can even mail them. There's one on here about how do my prescriptions get transferred? Our pharmacist will contact you. Where do I send them? Let's see. There's another place on the site that has that. How it works. How to submit right here. How to submit prescriptions. Right there. This information for doctors' use only. All this. This is the NPI code, the fax number, the phone number, whatever the doctor's office needs. It's right here on your website, as well as the member will see that information on their membership card. Okay. Any other questions in the comments? I'm gonna leave the screen up a minute since we've got conversation going about the pharmacy.
Yeah, we had a comment earlier about somebody wanting to use YouTube.
Uh-huh.
They had responded to the questions about how they wanted to do, or the initial questions that I had.
Yeah. Okay, YouTube is great. The main thing with YouTube is you need to have an audience, right? Whether you're doing it through your search, getting followers and all of that. But YouTube content is great because YouTube will actually show up on the first page of Google if you have your messaging right. So YouTube is great. You just need to know that you cannot use any of our proprietary names in the title of your video. So it can't be DAC flat fee RX as your title, or DAC healthcare or David Allen Capital Funding or any of that. It can't be a proprietary name, but YouTube is great. Cherry, I see you've got a hand up.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
My question is, does the new member get a permanent card or is that just the digital?
Yeah, it's a digital card. So
Do they
what
get
I
a
would,
permanent one in the mail?
there's not going to be one mailed to them. Mm-mm.
Okay, okay. So they have
It's-
to print that out.
so, yeah, when they can either print it out, or if they use their mobile phone like so many people do today, I would just have them open up their portal, pinch and zoom, and then do a screenshot of that card. They'll
Mhm.
have two, it's actually a front and back, as David said, but to me, it looks like two cards. There's one for the chronic meds, which is the mail order, the 90 days that'll get mailed to you free of charge. For the chronic meds, and then the acute meds is the card that you would present at your local Kroger or whatever drugstore you're going to, and that has the RX and the bin numbers that the pharmacy needs, and it
Okay,
has customer service number on it and all of that.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Good question. Thank you. All right, anybody else before we wrap up? Any other comments or questions? My question to you is, how many new RX customers are you going to have by next Monday? 5 a week until you get 20 customers. And on the RX or the RVP plan, it says go get 5 customers. And then the next week, go get 5 more. So you have a total of 10. And the next week, go get 5 more. So you have a total of 15. And the next week, go get 5 more. So you have a total of 20. When you have 20 RX customers, you now have 200 personal qualifying volume points, and you're qualified for all of those bonuses that I just went through tonight. Since this is a monthly subscription, those customers are going to be there next month. So you don't have to get new customers every month. It's customers that just continue staying on the books forever until they decide to cancel. And if we're providing them a good service, saving them money, what's the likelihood of them canceling? Very slim, right? Melody, you got your hand back up again? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm full of questions tonight. Sorry. So in order to get the $5 for each subscription, how many customers is that? Is that 100 customers at least to get the 5 for?
The $5 would be when you're at 50% residual revenue, 50% on your personal customers. And to get there, you have to have 2,000 in personal qualifying volume. So 2,000 divided by 10 would mean you need 200 customers on the
Right.
RX
Okay.
plan.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Just do an
Okay.
RX. But you could be doing a combination of payment processing, your fundings. I know you've got stuff going in there with funding. Fundings can count towards that. Healthcare counts towards that. So everything that we do goes towards it. But the ones that are residual that will show up every single month without you having to go get new customers is the healthcare, the payment processing, the flat fee RX, and the ID Protect. Unless the only way that volume's not going to show up next month if they don't cancel, is if they bought an annual plan, it'll show up this month and then it won't be there next month. It won't be there for 12 months later when they pay for that annual plan again, if that makes sense. All right. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for coming out tonight. Happy New Year. We got good trainings this week, and I just want you guys to win so big. I want you to win in 2024. Please let me know how I can help you, and let's do the darn thing. Let's get it done. Let's go get some customers, and let's set some records this year in your business and help DAC set some records that people are going to be talking about in years to come because of what we do as a company this year. And I want you to be a part of that ride, not in the stadium watching everybody else and going, what the heck just happened? I want you to be on the playing field with us, being a participant. Okay. All right. God bless you all. Have a blessed evening. We'll see you tomorrow.